Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it today. Today I wanted to talk to you about insomnia as a secondary condition and what that looks like and what it can do for you with your overall VA rating. So this is something that you're interested in. Please hit that thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff, because it really helps to grow the channel and get the information out there to more of us in need. There's plenty of mystery when it comes to VA and filing claims, and especially when you're looking to increase your rating and different ways that you could possibly get there. I'll tell you, for those that don't know, when it comes to mental health, which is where insomnia is rated, it's not like the rest of the rating schedule. Insomnia is basically part of the overall umbrella of mental health. And so they take all of the ratings for mental health and they combine it all together and they just give you one rating. So it's not like your bad knee is rated at 10%, your bad back's at 20, and your migraines are at 30, and adding all those up for your overall rating. Not like that at all. What they do is they take any of your mental health conditions. Maybe you have, for example, just throw this out, the PTSD, you have anxiety, you have depression, and you have insomnia. Those are four things. You're not going to get four ratings. What you're going to get is diagnosed for all of those, and your overall signs, symptoms, and all that good stuff all combined together equal one rating, and then that is your rating for your mental health. So with that, what I wanted to do here was jump into a couple different things. One is, how can insomnia be a secondary condition? It can also be a primary, your regular service-connected condition as well. But oftentimes, I see insomnia as got my ears lowered. I see insomnia as a secondary. So a great example is you have some sort of an injury that's chronic in nature, causing you problems, and you're rated for it. Could be your back, could be your hip, could be your knee, anything that causes pain and just general uncomfort or discomfort. So what happens is that discomfort and pain wake you up. And you may not have an issue falling asleep, but you wake up 3, 4, 5 hours into your sleep, and at first you don't really think about your pain. At first you're wondering, oh man, why am I up? Did I hear something? Is the dog making noise, or the spouse, what have you? Then when you try to fall back asleep is when you realize, oh, my back, oh, my hip, oh, my leg, my knee, whatever it is, and you're tossing and you're turning, and finally, maybe, if you're lucky, you can fall asleep a few hours later, or not. You get up, walk around, get a drink of water, you look at the clock, you see it's 4, you got to wake up at 6 anyway, so you just stay up. So that would be the idea of how insomnia would work as a secondary condition, right? So to kind of expand on that a little bit, you may have filed a claim for your back or your knee or your hip, rated for it, and you've been rated for it for 10 years, and then now it's gotten progressively worse over time, which, oh, by the way, you should look to do an increase. But that worse condition has now added this complexity of sleepless nights, which again is insomnia. So I'm going to, now that you kind of have that painted picture of insomnia as a secondary condition, let's now look at two other really important pieces of this puzzle. One is, are you already rated for a mental health condition? Very important. Remember, insomnia falls under that mental health umbrella. And if it's not enough added issues, right? If your mental health has not gotten worse because of your insomnia, you might not see an increase, okay? So, sorry for the light thing. So you may not see an increase if insomnia does not cause a worse condition for mental health. Now, if it does cause a worse condition, let's just say maybe you're rated at 50% for mental health, and then you end up getting insomnia, and now that wasn't really there before, and so it's causing more issues for you mental health wise, maybe you might be able to get to a 70%. Now, the other factor is, let's say you don't have any other mental health conditions. This is your only mental health condition that you're actually filing for, right? So many people, for a whole host of different reasons, decide that they don't want to file for PTSD out the gate. Kind of have it in their back pocket just in case for later to help get them over the finish line if needed. But that's besides the point. Here you are, and you have no mental health conditions. Insomnia is that only one that you're going to do as a secondary. Let's look at the schedule of ratings for insomnia. So if you were to Google search VA rating schedule, which I talk about a lot because this thing is gold, you would open it up and you're going to see a bunch of different things, and it's called books. So you'll have a bunch of different books within the VA rating schedule page. For example, you'll see musculoskeletal, neurological, you'll see mental health. So let's go under mental disorders. It's actually under mental disorders. So that's the books that's 4.125 through 4.130. When you click on that, you would then, it's going to open up a little further, and you're going to see that 4.130 is a Word document for schedule of ratings -mental disorders. You'd want to click on that. That's going to open up the actual your actual schedule of ratings for the specific mental health ratings. So when you open that up, then you're going to see all of the different mental disorders that are basically rated by the VA. Now, I just opened it up on mine here. I'm kind of trying to shrink it up a little bit so I can see a little better and not have to veer way off. All right. So, here it is. It says here, and it has everything, right? From schizophrenia to delirium to dementia to generalized anxiety disorder and so on, right? It just has everything that you could think of. So as you scroll down, you'll get to the actual ratings for it. And what they have as the kind of collective kind of pot for mental disorders is the chronic adjustment disorder. And what I always tell people to do is just start at the lowest one and read that. And if you have all of the things that it says, then that's probably going to be your rating, right? Or you know that that's at least you're going to get that. Then read the next one, and then the next one, and the next one, until you finally read one that you don't have everything for. So at a 0%, which is still a win, it's the lesser win, but it's a win. For a 0% rating, it says a mental condition has been formally diagnosed, but symptoms are not severe enough to either interfere with occupational and social functioning or to require continuous medication. So that's at a 0%. So let's just jump up to a 50%. I'm going to skip 10 and I'm going to skip 30 to just for the sake of the length of the video. At a 50%, it says occupational and social impairment with reduced reliability and productivity due to such symptoms as flattened affect. I can't say half of these. Circumstantial, stereotyped speech, panic attacks more than once a week, difficulty in understanding complex commands, impairment of short and long-term memory, impaired judgment, impaired abstract thinking, disturbances of motivation and mood, difficulty in establishing and maintaining effective work and social relationships. So that's a 50%. Let's just jump down to 30 just for the heck of it. Occupational and social impairment with occasional decrease in work efficiency and intermediate periods of inability to perform occupational tasks due to such symptoms as depressed mood, anxiety, suspiciousness, panic attacks, chronic sleep impairment, there's insomnia, mild memory loss, and that's it. So, for insomnia, if you have, every night just is kind of sucky, right? You get a few hours of sleep that are solid and the rest is just pretty horrific. You're probably looking at a 30% if you do not have any other major symptoms as a result. If you have other symptoms as a result of your sleeplessness, your insomnia, then you might bump up higher. Another thing to note is, let's say that you had a 10% rating prior for some mental health condition, and then you develop insomnia, and it's chronic and it's ongoing. Well, now you have that chronic sleep impairment, which is now listed for the 30%, so you'd probably get a bump. So that's just, and the mental health, and again, I'm not going to read every rating, but the options here are 0, 10, 30, 50, 70, and 100% ratings for mental health under the mental health umbrella. I will throw in, for those that had stuck on this long, that there is one exception to the mental health umbrella of things. The other mental health rating, so you could actually have two mental health ratings. The other one is eating disorders. So there's, bulimia and anorexia. Those two have their own schedule of ratings. So you can have actually two separate mental health if you have an eating disorder and then you have other mental health conditions. So just as kind of a side note. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I'm exhausted. Hope you have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.